Hello and welcome, everyone. I am Lynnette Schaeffer. I'm the Director of Training here at LEDVANCE. I'd like to welcome you to LEDVANCE External Product Launch. This is part 3 of 3 for May of 2024. We had lots of products launching this quarter, so that's why we had to do 3 of these things. Now, today I'm going to specifically be going over, of course, like I said, the on-demand training page. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the OptiSelect Area Light. That's our newest product that we're launching. And then, as we promised, we are going to talk a little bit about controls. Now, controls is not like one of those things you can just talk about in 30 seconds or 2 minutes or 10 minutes for that matter. So we are actually going to take the controls piece and kind of break it out piece by piece by piece. And we are going to most likely ask you guys to perhaps watch some on-demand videos too, to kind of help build up for our full-on relaunch of Link, which will most likely happen during the August launch that we'll be coming out with here very soon. Okay, so first of all, before I move on to that, generally speaking, for the on-demand training, I wanted to let you guys know that if you go out to ledvanceus.com and you find the training page, it's right next to resources, if I'm not mistaken, navigation bar, you are going to be able to click on that now, and you're going to see some new training. All right. The first one is lower right-hand corner. It'll say on-demand training. It'll have a picture of me. That, by the way, that thumbnail is going to be changing. But for now, it's that thumbnail. But when you click on that, it will go ahead and take you to another page in which you can go ahead and watch multiple different videos, everything from basic lighting all the way through advanced lighting. There's quite a few modules, and none of them are typically going to be longer than 30 minutes. I think there's one that's about 50 minutes, 50, and that's because it's on applications and also the different types of fixtures and luminaires that we have in general in our industry, not just us, LEDVANCE. So I encourage you guys to go check that out. And then you're also going to find on that training page, there is a little section that says Level Up with LEDVANCE. And that one is all about products. Right now, there should be either 2 or 3 videos in there. We are going to start to populate that more and more in the coming days and the coming weeks. So always check back. There's going to be continuously new ones being posted there. But definitely, this is a great tool and resource for you guys to utilize at your leisure. And you can watch them whenever you want. That's the glorious thing about on demand. Now, we still do offer our trainings through on demand Blue Volt. You can still go out to Blue Volt. You can still find the videos. They are very much the same ones that you're going to find on our full-on website. It's just that we're giving our customers a couple different options. So just wanted to start with that first of all and give you kind of a high-level overview. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the features that are on our new OptiSelect area light that you see here on the right of me. Okay, so what I wanted to do is basically focus on a few things that are kind of cool about this product. And the first one is something called Flex Mount. So what Flex Mount means is that the luminaire ships with multiple mounting options included. Okay. So what's great about this is it simplifies installation. It reduces the need for additional products, brackets, all that other good stuff. And it also promotes sustainability in some cases because you can get by with less packaging in some cases because you don't have to buy extra components and things like that. That's kind of where we're going with that. Not probably as big of a deal as the fact that it does simplify installation big time. Okay. So what does this whole Flex Mount come with? Well, first of all, it comes with the new area light that I'm going to be talking about. And it also comes with some of our other area lights. You can just check out the spec sheet to know which ones it comes with. It also comes on a couple of our floodlights as well. And the nice thing about this is that it can accommodate 10-inch square round poles and also wall mount. So you kind of can see maybe a little bit, but this is sort of a groove here that's where it can accommodate your round poles. Otherwise, you can accommodate simply, easily a square pole or also on the side of a wall. And then, of course, you've got the 10-inch mount as well. So kind of a cool little feature that is on, of course, like I said, not only the new product I'm going to be talking about, but some of our other products. Now, also our jelly jar, in case you guys didn't know this, we do have a jelly jar. It also has this flex mount idea. And this particular product, it can be ceiling, wall, or pendant mount. And by the way, it's also 180 degrees of adjustability too. So that's what Flex Mount is all about. So if you ever see Flex Mount, you'll know exactly what that's about and where it comes into play. Now, the I guess I got a poll question. Hold on. I was just going to keep going. Let me go ahead and launch my my poll question for you. All right. So question number, next one. All right. Let me go ahead and launch. Sorry, I got to get this up for you. All right, poll question number 1 is, what is flex mount? Were you guys listening to me when I was talking? We'll find out very soon, won't we? All right, it doesn't mean that it can easily change optics in the field. Doesn't mean that the product ships with flexible mounting options, or none of the above. Oh boy. All right. Sorry, you probably see me looking up sometimes because I have another big screen in front of me, and that's kind of where my control screen is. So in case you're like, why is she looking up all the time? That's the reason for it. So I'm kind of checking out what's going on with stuff. So that's all. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I got to get this thing out of my way so I can see it. I'm going to end the poll and share the results with you guys so you can see what's going on. And if you said that the product ships with flexible mounting options, you are absolutely correct. Flex mount, products that ship with flexible mounting options. So remember that. That's a big deal. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and stop sharing that. And we will move on to, I think we have a question. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. All right, so if the chat is disabled, that's okay. You can just use the Q&A, by the way. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is OptiSelect. Now, this is a big deal, all right? So OptiSelect means that there are multiple distributions within the luminaire, okay? No lens swap needed. This is a major, major deal, okay? This ensures longevity from water and moisture, since the luminaire doesn't have to be open to change the distributions or the optics. The reason for the why we would want to change optics, by the way, in the field is because, say like you have a parking lot, all right? In the center of the parking lot, you probably want to use a type 5 distribution where you have distribution all the way around the luminaire. But on the sides of the parking lot, you might want a type 3 or maybe a type 4. And the thing is that when you're a contractor and you're installing these luminaires out in a parking lot, you don't want to have multiple different luminaires that you have to make sure you install in the right area, or install it and go, oh no, that was supposed to be a type 5 and I put a type 3 there. Now with OptiSelect, if that does happen, no big deal. All you have to do is easily change the optic right directly on the luminaire without having to change the lens, without having to remove a bunch of screws. And keep in mind, there are a lot of luminaires out there that have to have like 20 plus screws removed to change the optics. Can you imagine on a cold winter day, these poor contractors are up there with the wind blowing and they're trying to unscrew all of these screws to change out the optics? That would be so completely annoying. So with OptiSelect, LEDVANCE makes it so easy because you don't have to worry about doing any of that. All right. So you can easily change the luminaire or the optics or the distribution in the field without having to change any of the lumen of the lenses. All right. This provides obviously flexibility in the field, inventory reduction because you don't have to have multiple different distributions floating around in your service truck or on your shelf if you're a distributor partner. It also aids in precision aiming. You know, a lot of people will just go, oh, I'm just going to go with the type 4 and they're just going to get what they get. Now we can actually make it so it's a little bit more user friendly and precision aiming, which is really important to make sure we're not, you know, putting light somewhere where it's not supposed to be. So that basically is light trespass and really important for outdoor applications. You don't want to throw a bunch of light in your neighbor's yard, right? Now this is featured on our new area light, all right? It's also featured on our bollard, as you can see here. And we also have OptiSelect featured on our track head. All right, so that's OptiSelect. I have a feeling there's another poll question coming. What do you know? There is. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch the next poll question, and that is poll question number 2. And that is the question of what is OptiSelect? Is it multiple distributions that are easily changed in the field without opening the luminaire? No lens swap needed. Products that ship with flexible mounting options, or none of the above? All right. I'll give that just a second. Think about your answer. Okay. You guys are killing it today, by the way. All right. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and share the results. And the answer to that is multiple distributions that are easily changed in the field without opening the luminaire and no lens swap needed. So very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and keep moving on to the next thing we're going to talk about. And that is finally our OptiSelect area light. So this particular product is DLC premium. It is also IP65. It has a 3G rating, which basically means it can do a really nice job of withstanding worst case vibration. If you think about it, anytime you put an area light or any outdoor light on a pole and it's going to vibrate, it's just naturally going to vibrate, whether it's wind or whether it's just, vibration from traffic. There's all kinds of things that can cause vibration. Okay. So you really want a 3G rating because it just makes that luminaire super robust. It is also FCC, it's RoHS, it's backed by the trusted warranty. It also is controls ready, all right, which we'll get into a little bit later in the presentation. Obviously, it also has flex mount and also OptiSelect, which I just talked about. Now, this area light is really good for a lot of different applications. Think about any parking lot, think about general outdoor lighting, walkways, car dealerships, you name it, we can put this area light into any of those type of applications. It can also, if you want it to be mounted in like more of a floodlight position where you can kind of push the light out as well. So lots of different options when it comes to being able to use this out in the field too. Okay. Next up, let's talk a little bit about just the basic specifications. Now you can get all of these specifications off the website by going to LEDVANCEUS.com. I usually like to go to the products page and then pick, I think it's area light is the option. And then you'll see it'll have new by there and then go ahead and hit OptiSelect area light. And then there'll be a spec sheet right there too. So as you can see here, this is a dual selectable product, which means it does allow for you to reduce inventory and have job site flexibility because you can easily select your CCT and your wattage upon installation. The way that you do that, I'm going to try to see if this thing works or not. I'm crossing my fingers. The way that you do that, yay, it's looking like it's working. Okay, the way that you do that is simply unscrew this one right here. I already loosened this up, by the way. So you unscrew this and you can see there's little switches in here. Hopefully you can see, my knee might be in the way, but anyways, there's little switches right in here. That's where you're going to change the CCT. Nice and sealed up with this little plug here. And then when you're done making that change, you just want to make sure that you get that back on there and you screw it on tight. Okay. This other one is the controls ready port or receptacle, shall I say. So that's where you're going to find that as well. And again, if you're not using it, you want to make sure that you keep that on there to keep moisture and water and so forth out of the luminaire too. Okay. Now this is available in 2 wattages. You've got 120 and 120 to 347 and 277 to 480 volt. Also, you will notice that this product is slightly different from others when it comes to CCT. And I mean others, meaning others competition as well as other products that we sell, because we give you the standard 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 K. But check this out. We also give you 1,800, 2,200, and 2,700 K, which are all made to order. But the reason that we have this is because it supports dark sky compliance. Super important anymore. All right. So that's a really cool feature of this product as well. Lumens do range from, let me go ahead and go on to the next one. So the lumens range from as low as 6,000 to as high as 45,000 lumens. The max lumens per watt looks to be about 150. There are 3 different sizes depending upon which lumen output that you go with. And it does go all the way up to an impressive 100,000 hours at L70. Additionally, it has 10 kV of surge protection built into it, which is going to help you with a little bit of those voltage spikes and some of the other voltage issues that you might experience with whether it's a storm or other situations where you might have some voltage changes on the line. Okay. Now, besides the dual selectability and the 150 lumens per watt, other things that I spoke about on the previous slide, some other key features are this whole scale design option. Okay, so you probably saw when I got a little bit closer and honed in on this section of the luminaire that it says LEDVANCE. What's cool about this is that it can be easily recognized as LEDVANCE branded luminaires. All right, so this is kind of a neat design. It is referred to as scale design. We have multiple luminaires and fixtures and such that have this sort of LEDVANCE scale design concept behind it. So that's another thing that makes this product kind of cool. As I mentioned, it is controls ready, which means it can easily accept LEDVANCE Link, which is a DLC approved network lighting control. Or you can also add standalone controls via that screw and receptacle that I showed you. No special wiring. Really, you don't need an electrician. Anybody can install it. No extra wires need to be ran, and you can add or install the controls at any time that you want, either the day that you install the luminaires or a later date, doesn't matter, okay? Now, it also comes with a 7-pin photo cell. So if I'm just going to flip this thing around, this will probably be best, okay? So at the bottom of this, that didn't work so well. All right, so at the bottom of this, we'll do this instead. Anyways, you can probably see this. All right, so you can, this isn't going to work. Let me try it this way instead. I'm like, you're not going to be able to see this very well. All right, now let's move this thing around. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so you can see here, it comes with a 7-pin NEMA receptacle, and it also has a shortening cap as well. You think I'm going to be able to balance this? Oh, I am. All right, so there's a shortening cap. Now, the deal is you should never install this thing, okay, until you either have a shortening cap on it or you actually have the photo cell on it. You don't want to get water and stuff inside here. Additionally, if you don't have a shortening cap on here or an actual photo cell, it's not going to light. So if you ever have a customer call in, or you are dealing with a customer and they're like, hey, my light won't work. It could be that they don't have the shortening cap on correctly, or it could that they don't have it on at all, or that's probably the biggest reason, or maybe they don't have the photo cell on either. But anyways, you do have that option if you choose to use the photo cell. Now, I will make this very clear. If you decide to use the 7-pin photo cell on the back of the luminaire, and you also want to use the receptacle on the front for, say, network lighting controls or for occupancy, you can't do that. You have to make sure that you use either one or the other, not both, okay? They can't be used simultaneously at the same time. It has to be either this one or that one, not both. So really important to kind of keep that in mind as well. By the way, it does, like I said, ship with the shortening cap. If you do want the photo cell, we do have that as an accessory, as an optional accessory that you can get when you go on to our website and onto the spec sheet to get that, okay? LEDVANCE also makes it really easy to install. As I mentioned, this does have your flex mount. So you have multiple mounting options right out of the box, which is great because it can help speed up and expedite the installation by customizing it to fit a round pole, a wall mount, a square pole, a tenon mount, you name it. Okay, this obviously simplifies installation. All right. But the most important thing about this product, which is really cool, is this whole entire idea of functionality at its finest. That's what we call it. It obviously has the 3 distribution center, or the 3 distributions. So I'm going to go ahead and hone in on this once again. All right. So you guys can probably see this right here. Okay. There is no cap or cover. All right. I don't know how well you can see this, but if you blow up that portion of the video, you might be able to see here it says T3, T4, and T5. So all you have to do is just take a screwdriver and move this switch to whichever one that you need. And that will simply give you your different distributions. In this case, type 3, type 4, type 5, no lens swap needed. No need at all to open up the luminaire. It is as simple as just taking a screwdriver and changing it by twisting or turning the switch right here on the side of the luminaire. So easy. Again, type 3, type 4, type 5 distribution, all in the same products. That means obviously reduce inventory, also faster installation because you're not removing screws and not swapping out lenses. And the big part of it is you're not having to worry about any moisture concerns because you're not opening up the luminaire. So it's much more protected this way. And not to mention, you can also customize your applications. Okay. It's truly one luminaire that does it all, which is amazing. Okay. Let's go ahead and launch the next poll question. And it looks like we actually have 2 questions in this. So I'll give this just a little bit more time. Oh, hey, I should probably hit the launch button. Sorry about that. All right, what optics are included in the OptiSelect area light? And then OptiSelect area light, how do you change the optics in the field? All right, you guys are doing great, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna head and end this. I will share the results with you so you guys can see how you stacked up. So the first one is type 3, type 4, type 5, and the next one is you just have to turn that switch on the side of the luminaire to change it. So super easy, super simple, super sweet, super cool. All right. And let's go ahead and see what kind of questions that you guys might have. All right, so if you have any, are there any questions about this product? I am not seeing any yet. If our product manager has any corrections that I may have said wrong or anything to add, please do so. You're not going to hurt my feelings whatsoever if I misspoke or didn't say something or forgot something. So if there's anything that you'd like to add, Ligia, please do so. And if there's any questions from anybody, please make sure you put that in either to the chat or the Q&A, whichever one you would like. Okay, so let's see. The lower CCTs like 1800, 2200 are also turtle safe. Good point. They are turtle safe, which is so cool if you're having to deal with that. It's funny because I actually have a place up in Wisconsin, and I saw a little turtle coming out the other day trying to dig. So I didn't even know they have turtles in Wisconsin. I mean, I knew we had painted turtles, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I just was surprised to see it, but it was really cool to see. Not shortening cap. Oh, shortening cap, not shortening cap. I'm glad I got to have some of you laugh. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. Thank you. A shortening cap, not shortening, a shortening cap. And then when is stock arriving? Ligia, if I remember correctly, it was July.
Hello. Yes, correct. July, and we have like an initial order arriving in July and then more in August. So,
Okay, fabulous. Okay, what other questions? Anything? No. Going once, going twice. Oh, wait. How does a toggle switch manage to change the optics slash lens? You might as well just go ahead and answer this, Ligia. I have a Ligia, but I have you might, since you're on, let's go ahead and just answer that question for everybody. How does it work?
yeah, that's good. I think I answered like, but in the Q&A, but I think it's good for everybody anyway because it's actually a nice question. There are two parallel lenses. Actually, in this product, we use two a set of lenses, and they move slightly. It's a really small movement that you cannot even see it. You really need to pay attention to be able to see it. But when you turn the switch, they move, and that changes the distribution basically by changing the position of the lenses. That's basically it, how it works in a like a
Perfect.
really like brief overview.
Yep. We don't want to give away all of our secrets, right? All right. And then this was a great one, and I'll make sure that I add this to the video. I always try to do 3 to 5 minute short videos for the Level Up with LEDVANCE, and that is it available in black and white? Yes, it is available in black and white. Are they both stock, Ligia, or is white like special order? Are they both available?
Black and white are special order for now, but I've been getting a lot of requests, especially for black, so we might stock them as well. So
Okay.
more
Doug
to come
Stolman.
on
I
that.
think I know Doug. So Doug, if you're the Doug I'm thinking about, hello. All right. So what's the application for 1800 color temp? Because it's basically amber. Obviously turtles, which we talked about, and then a lot of national parks, dark sky reserves. The lower CCT is the idea of the less disturbed environment as well. So That's the other thing that's kind of cool. Less blue light, right? So anymore, that's going to be a really big deal. And then we already answered when is the stock arriving. So if I missed any of them,
Lynette, if sorry to interrupt you, but only because you were talking about turtle, and I think that's really like an important topic. And this 1800, 2200, and 2700K is really a nice. It's something new, and we are seeing more and more dark sky reserves, dark sky areas. Even that includes cities surrounding the national park or the reserve, and they kind of usually use 2700K for like a bigger parking lot, like more important streets and avenues, and then they use 2200 for smaller streets, and 1800 really for the parks and where you really don't want to disturb the natural life. uh, and but one important point about the 1800K, it's not always turtle friendly, so it depends on the area. Sometimes you really need a specific amber light that doesn't have anything below 560 nanometers of wavelength. So it's really like specific. So this is a separate product. So it really depends on the application for the turtle friendly part. So just
all
like
right. I'm glad you made that clear. Thank you. Yeah,
you're
so
welcome.
maybe not the best for that. I mean, it probably would work at my home up in Wisconsin for personal use. Anyway, okay. So if there's no more questions, and if you do have a question after we get moving, that's okay. Sometimes you think about these after the fact, which is no big deal. We can come back to it. We had one person raise their hand. If that was a mistake, I'm going to go. I will go ahead and let you talk if you want to. If it was a mistake, no big deal. Just ignore it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. I can't remember if I have another question or not. I don't think so. No. So here's what we're going to do. In the next 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to get you guys a little bit introduced to controls, primarily more because controls are rapidly growing. And it's not just about incorporating controls into projects. It's really about giving end users the ability to have control over their lighting, whether it's a small remodel or a ginormous, huge project. Okay. And by the way, LEDVANCE does have solutions, big or small, that we can help you with. All right. Today, we will not be going into detail about our specific solutions, but we are going to tell you why it's so important to consider controls. And if you do need help with controls, don't run the other direction. Come to us and certainly let us know how we can help you. And we will definitely come and be there to rescue you if you have any questions. I know sometimes controls can be scary. All right. So first of all, why are controls so important? It's mainly because you've got some really great project benefits. People are realizing that adding controls can increase the longevity of the life of the luminaires. It can also maximize energy savings. It gives greater design flexibility. It makes the overall project more scalable. It also satisfies building codes, complies with green building and energy conservation programs. It can also mean greater utility incentives as well. A lot of rebates now may have gotten away from giving rebates back on the luminaire, but that doesn't mean they gave away or that they're not still giving opportunities and rebates to the controls aspect of things. So super important to kind of keep that in mind as well. Also, something to think about when it comes to the user experience, and you might challenge me a little bit with this, but from a user experience, it's really nice to have the ability to have flexibility for any user. I don't know about you guys, but my husband doesn't like to work under a lot of light, but I do, which is strange because he's older than me and you would think he would want more light, but it doesn't work that way in our house. But a lot of times older people typically want brighter light and younger people may not. Okay. Sometimes too, it depends on the task, whether you are working on a computer or a laptop, or maybe you're reading, or maybe you're doing something tedious, right? That's another really important thing as well. A reliable system also incorporates, being able to have controllers that automatically turn the lights on and off at certain times. That also helps with the user experience, making them feel more safe and more secure. Additionally, you can also improve the overall reliability of the system as well. So there are a lot of things that people like when it comes to controls, and being able to have that flexibility is super, super important. Now, as long as let me back up a second. As for long-term opportunities, it's really about the overall life cycle costs. As I mentioned, being able to dim, you can certainly reduce your ability to you can actually reduce your energy costs when you dim or control your lights, but you can also reduce the amount of life, like the life will last a little bit longer too. Also, additionally, the lighting system as a whole, like I said, can last longer. It can also save energy. So sorry, there was a quick distraction there. So sorry if I fumbled a little bit there. All right, moving on. So next up, for most of us on this call, it's really important to understand the different types of utility rebates. As I mentioned, yeah, they may not have really any utility rebates much on the luminaires anymore, but that doesn't mean we don't still have them on controls. And there obviously are some areas that have them on both the luminaire itself and the controls. The three different types of rebates that are available are downstream, which is known as prescriptive. There's also midstream or point of sale. And then there's also the custom rebates as well. So these three of these are a little bit different. Downstream, these are what most of us are probably familiar with. The rebates are typically provided directly to the owner. The owner purchases the product. They take the receipt. They send out, fill out some information. They mail it in and they get their rebate. Okay. And maybe that's just a check, or maybe that's also a discount on their next bill. Who knows? It could be either one. Okay. The midstream one is that the rebate actually comes out of the pocket right away, and not really out of the pocket. It comes out of the sale, okay, or comes with the sale, I should say. So this is what happens, is that you have an instant rebate on the spot. The distributor or whoever the seller is handles all the administrative costs. And when the end user purchases that product, they immediately get to see the benefits of their rebate right there without having to fill out paperwork and without any that kind of stuff. I find this more familiarly normal in the southern part of the state, but I'm sure there's other areas too that have this as well. And then custom rebates, that's kind of all over. It's just depending on the utility. So don't think that it's not worth calling the local utility and finding out if there's perhaps a custom rebate available if you're working on any of the control opportunities. Okay. Now, these two charts are really cool. One of them, the left-hand one, shows the average rebates from 2019 to 2013 for the luminaires. You can see here the biggest bang for your buck as far as rebates go are your high base, your outdoor, and also your parking garage. Not saying that the other ones listed here aren't worth talking about, but if you are going to be going out and trying to sell projects or sell products, you may want to consider really focusing your time on those high base, those outdoor applications, and those parking garages. Also, additionally, it was surprisingly to see this, but the LED HID lamps also have had fairly high rebates too. And this is on average. And you can see my resource here on the bottom left-hand side. You can certainly Google this yourself as well. Okay. Additionally, something else that I might add is that according to BrightSwitch, the rebate adder for installing LED luminaires with networked lighting controls is growing, which is resulting in an average rebate of about $204 per installed controlled luminaire. Now that seems really high to me. I almost want to say that also includes the luminaire rebate itself, but I know for a fact that I've seen many utilities, and this is just one example out of Washington State. It looks like you get about a $30 adder for each luminaire. You get $30 back in a form of a rebate if you add controls. So just be aware that there are certainly rebates available, and take advantage of those because they're not going to be around forever. So get acclimated and get familiar with your utilities, what kind of rebates they have available, and then contact us for help on specifying whatever control solution that you may need. The other thing that are driving controls are the basic energy codes that we're all probably pretty familiar with. Controls are continuously growing no matter which way you look at it. And also DLC is also pushing for controls to be integrated into more and more luminaires as well. So how does LEDVANCE make it really easy to add controls? Well, one, and you've heard me say this multiple times already, is controls ready products. So you can easily add standalone or our network lighting control solution to any of our controls ready luminaires without having to run any low voltage wires, without having to have an electrician. None of that. It's all easy plug and play. That's what controls ready means. Additionally, though, we do offer a handful of luminaires that are referred to as LLLC, not LLC. You got 3 L's and a C. So luminaire level light control. And what that means is that the fixture controller, and again, this only pertains to network lighting controls, but it means that the fixture controller is embedded into the driver. What's cool about that is it allows you to also change your CCT, meaning you can take it from 3000K to 4000K to 5000K by simply using the app, the free app, or you can use the little handheld wireless controller or the line voltage. Nope, I take that back. You can't. The wireless controller, I had to think for a second, the wireless battery operated controller, you can use that. So if you're a teacher and you want to incorporate being able to change the CCT in your school, in your classroom, you can do that easily with any three of these LLLC luminaires that LEDVANCE has to offer. They can have a little wireless controller and they can change the CCT based on the scene that they want at any time throughout the day. And to be able to do that now in such a least expensive way to incorporate it through the LEDVANCE LLLC luminaires is absolutely awesome. And it's pretty cool that we have that because not a lot of people do. Okay. So that's one really nice feature about this. And then it also means potentially greater rebates and incentives too, because as I said, utility rebates are really looking forward to giving more rebates out on LLC luminaires, luminaire level light control luminaires. Okay. So again, we are happy to talk to you about the network lighting control solution that we have. There will be more information coming in the coming weeks, probably most likely on demand because it is summertime. Everybody is doing their family vacations and whatnot. So you can watch those at your leisure when you like to watch them. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Your feedback for this presentation would be very much appreciated. You can scan that QR code right now. And again, this is the external product launch part 3 for May of 2024. We will be doing the internal only launch for August here in July 20 something. And then you will also be hearing from me again in August for the August external launch. And if there are no other questions or no other things to add, again, thank you for your time. Any questions before we depart? Okay. Oh, there was 8. Let's see. Did I miss something? What is the Amber? When stock writing? Is this a LEDVANCE exclusive product? Oh, in regards to the area OptiSelect, is this LEDVANCE exclusive product? Currently, yes, it is. Currently likely baby sea turtles. We're still talking turtles. Okay. Yes, I got it. What is the NM at 1800? The NM at 1800, there's less than 1% of blue light so that you see that. Good, all good questions. Great. Okay. Awesome. Anything else that anybody else has to? You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Anything else? Product managers, anything else to add? Anything to correct? Anything else? All right, until next time, guys, have a great summer. We'll chat with you guys later. Bye.